Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Cantina Corner podcast. My name is Adam, your host, here with Cody and Nick. As always, we are at full capacity, so make sure you grab yourself a beverage or a drink of your choice. Grab a seat, get comfortable. We are going to be getting into some kind of casual conversation, current events type of, discussion today. But as always, this episode is sponsored by Rep Sports, the owners of Raise Energy. If you use discount code Cantina Corner at checkout, it's going to save you 15% off anything you order from them. Great products, great stuff. Definitely check that out. But gentlemen, there you go.
Hi.
There you go. Yeah, if you're just listening to the audio, Cody just popped up one of the Raise Energy drink cans, which are fucking delicious, by the way. So definitely check their stuff out. But how are you doing, gentlemen? How was your Memorial Day weekend?
Oh,
Too
it was
short.
nice.
Too short.
It was too short. That was about the only thing wrong with it.
Yeah, it did seem like it flew by a little bit. That's for sure.
Yeah, Kamala had it wrong.
Yeah, enjoy the long weekend.
Sorry, I had to.
Hey, no, what was it? She said enjoy the long weekend, and Biden said stay cool out there, folks.
Stay classy. That's all I thought of when I saw that tweet. I was like, stay classy.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it got summed up to. And they were both pictures of themselves, too.
Yeah.
They individually said, oh, look at me, enjoy the weekend.
And they weren't at the Arlington tomb, but that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's the whole other thing. He gave a speech, but whatever. Potato.
Chocolate chip.
Yay!
Sorry, ripping on Biden too much. Go ahead.
No, you're good. We're kind of going to not be into like a rip on Biden thing today, but we are getting into some just kind of casual conversation, like I said, going into some more or less current events, stuff going on in the U.S., stuff going on politically, stuff going on globally, opinions, thoughts. Let's get into that. I don't know. Where should we even start this? Should we start
with the fucks not delivering the UFO
Nothing.
shit?
They gave us nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I woke up, like I told you guys before we started recording this, I woke up excited today, like legitimately excited to actually look at the news. Usually I look at the news of more of like informational purposes, podcast show research. And this morning I woke up like a kid on Christmas, very skeptical that I was going to not see anything, and we got fuck all.
Yep.
So that was kind of a kick in the teeth. But I mean, we kind of expected that because we talked about that before, that we expected nothing to come out, period. So I'm not surprised it didn't come out day one. But I did see over here, looking at the only two sources that I really saw like any information that I could like reference from the Washington Post. It said this month, President Biden's Director of National Intelligence will release a report containing everything unclassified that the U.S. government knows about UAPs, as part of a provision contained in former President Donald Trump's pandemic relief package. And it goes on and on and on, basically telling us what we already know of what they're supposed to let out, but still no deadline, even though today's the day. So it seems like it's just going to be this month, but I don't know exactly when. I know, weren't you saying something about it, Nick, where there was something written as to like how they were able to say it was this month and not today?
Oh, no, I was saying because I had seen some stuff too that like these people were referencing that within the end of the month we'll get something. Like I guess that's the official day. Okay. And I didn't really look it up to see, but I was like, I bet it's just how it's worded in the bill. You know how all that stuff gets worded like super stupid, super lawyerly and all that. So I'm sure that's just how it's worded to where they probably technically have the end of the month. But I don't know. We'll see. They didn't give us nothing, and yeah, I can't really say I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with day one. I mean, what are your thoughts?
They gave us inflation.
They gave us inflation.
I just think it's funny as hell that it's in a pandemic relief bill. Like when you say it, it's just fucking hilarious to me. Cracks me up.
Because wasn't the initial thing that Trump signed in, wasn't that in a relief bill as well when he put this in?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like
They had to get this. The only way he could push this through was through a pandemic relief bill.
Yeah.
Because it's when they do bills and stuff, it's like, well, I don't like that, so I'm going to put this in here. I'll let you keep that, but you got to let me put this in. It's just so
what they always
stupid.
do.
Just so dumb.
It really makes you question what the fuck a pandemic is.
Yeah.
That they could just put, not that this is frivolous bullshit compared to other stuff they do, but like this isn't something that really belongs in a fucking pandemic relief bill.
Yeah.
If it's really a pandemic, like.
No, I mean that's how they always are. I mean, you can always use the argument, like I've always said in discussions with people, In these relief bills, it's like when we've always talked about in previous episodes and private conversation about, all the extra money that we just send to all these different things when we're trying to create a relief bill for our own, United States. And why is, other stuff getting funded to other countries and people? And I know, the United States, we help people around the world. I get that. But when it's a pandemic situation and we even have our own citizens, veterans, no less, just because it was Memorial Day, that's the first thing I think of, roaming the streets homeless. And we're going to still help other countries before we help our own citizens that are roaming with nowhere to sleep or anything to eat. And it's just, it's insane.
Not only help
It's-
them,
Yep.
dude. We put $850,000 for country to start a cricket league. So
Yeah, I did see that, and it wasn't even just a team; it was an entire league.
I feel like that's just like CIA fucking funding or some shit like that. Backdoor
not
funding.
really a
like,
league. What is it?
yeah, it's just they're like, let's just slap this on there. It's all good to go. Because what was the other one? It was like for was it Pakistan women's studies or something
Yeah.
like that too? Where
Gender
again,
studies.
it's like that's not really going on here. That's just money there. They just put it
Gender
under some
studies.
stupid
Let's
name.
stone the women.
Yeah,
There's our studies.
And even if it is going towards that legitimately, should not be a first priority, And then that's just crazy. And I'm glad we can get stuff in like the UFO things, or if you want to, the UAP as they're calling it now. I'm
It's
glad
so
that some good stuff gets thrown in there, but it's a lot of bad. It's always bad.
Yeah, 90% of the bills are filled with bad, and then they only tell you about the 10% to make it look like it's good.
well, they can't read it before they sign it. I mean,
Yeah, I
Pelosi
know.
made sure that she'd
Jesus
let us
God.
know.
It was like what 5,000 pages. You got to
4
vote for
hours
this,
prior.
and they delivered it in like the hour before they had to vote.
You gotta sign it first, and then you find out what's in it.
They wheeled the whole thing in on a cart. They had to wheel it in on a cart. That's how big it was.
Yeah,
I watched them when they were pulling it
Ridiculous.
through. Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, even when they put stuff in, like Nick says, you never know if it's actually going to happen, even though it's written in there, if it's actually going towards that. Case in point, the UFO thing. I know it's only day one, but it was written in there, and I'm already have the feeling that we're going to get jack shit, and it was still put in there. So it's like, well, where did this? I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Or they'll just leak random videos like they've been doing to the end of the month and be like, there you go, that's your disclosure.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I've seen more information about Neil deGrasse Tyson talking to Joe Rogan and his skepticism of actual UFOs than I've found of information from our government talking about anything. Anytime I look up the stuff all day today, I could tell you probably 9 times out of 10, there's links to Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about it.
A part of me feels like Neil deGrasse Tyson works for the CIA, but I watched that podcast, and I mean, he makes a lot of sense when he says shit, but.
Well, I mean, he's a smart.
Yeah, he just looks at everything so like smart headed. Like everything has to have an answer, I guess.
He looks at it so big brained.
Yeah, and when something's like not there, he just like calls it out. I don't know.
Just very skeptical.
Well, it's like when like that stereotypical thing.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the stereotypical thing, like when you talk to somebody who's intelligent, where people say like if someone's super smart, they're usually like a egocentric prick, like because they're just so intelligent that you can't have a conversation, or when you hear stuff from them, you're just like, why do I just when it comes from your mouth, it just bothers me, like the way you're like talking about it, just like scratches me the wrong way.
Okay, see, that's how I felt at first when I was watching the podcast, because I was like, God damn, this dude, like he's like just shutting everything down.
Yeah.
But then like as it went on, like. And I was like trying to just listen to it with an open mind because, I mean, I try to look at both spectrums because, yes, I do believe in aliens and stuff like that. But, like, if you actually do that and you actually, like, listen to what he's saying, like, basically all he's saying is he doesn't believe UFOs have been visiting us, like, as many times as we think. Like, he doesn't think it's all UFOs. He does believe that there's probably an intelligent life form out there. He even said as much in the podcast, if they are so advanced and intelligent, why the hell would they even bother themselves with us? Like
that is true.
Right? Which Joe Rogan did counter that with a good point. Is that we are idiot animals who have discovered nuclear warfare. Like we are, and like we just need to get kept tabs on. And actually, Rogan actually admitted what he believes is that the UFOs are just like drones. They're pretty much just like super advanced, like almost like satellites that they just send out here just to keep tabs on. There's no actual like aliens in it flying around and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're just kind of like drones, just making sure everything's still cool and moving on.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Why would they waste their time, even if they had the ability to just be like point A to point B in like a split second? Like,
Right.
why even fucking bother?
It's like, I mean, and Neil deGrasse Tyson put a pretty good perspective on that episode where he was like, you know, imagine these aliens come from a universe where photosynthesis is like the main source of energy. You know, they don't look like us. They live off photosynthesis, and they see us cutting down trees and doing all this other shit. They're going to think of us as killers because to them, like trees and plants and everything are just, you know, almost a part of them, almost live their lifestyle.
Aliens are vegans, dude.
Could be.
It's a whole vegan race.
It's funny you say that because
wearing sandals and drug rugs.
You know, you say aliens are vegans, but photosynthesis and like that's totally different. Like
I know.
Vegans, Neil deGrasse Tyson actually made fun of them. Not really made fun of them, but he pointed out like the hypocrisy. It's like, oh, we don't want to hurt these animals. We have absolutely no problem killing all these plants that are actually living things as well, but we don't care about them. And I was like, you know what? I have never thought of it that way. You know, and when next time a vegan like tries to get all high and mighty on me, I'm like, well, you kill plants. You have no problem killing plants. Those things are living things too. Like, what the fuck are you gonna eat it then?
And I've heard people use that in like debates, and that they talk about how it's like, well, it's different, and it's like, oh, because it doesn't have eyes, nose, and a mouth and breathes, like it's different. Like you can't hear it scream, you can't see its pain. Like that is a living creature.
It is funny though because Rogan pretty much had the same comment you did. He was like, oh, so the aliens are gonna be weak and not be able to move very much, have low energy. Like, just like, that's hilarious.
The very pale complexion. And I mean, if anyone's vegans out there, hey, that's your choice. I respect it, whatever. That's just, I don't know. I find it weird.
I mean, do you, but I'm going to eat a burger.
That's exactly right. I ain't gonna
to not eat.
I ain't gonna tell you to stop doing it, but I'm gonna have my thoughts on it.
Yeah. But so yeah, like to get back to what you were saying, I was feeling the same way you were. Like he is super like skeptical when it comes to UFOs and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not that he doesn't believe in aliens, because it is easy to like, oh, if you don't believe in those, you definitely don't believe in aliens, which I mean obviously is not the case. But it's easy to connect those two, like they're one and the same.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He is, I like listening to him, but it's that very stereotypical. There we go. A-E-I-O-U.
I was waiting for him to say it.
God damn it. No, I ain't never going to say it again. That's for you guys to say. I ain't never said that. Never said that.
Spitfire.
No, actually, I just feel like hell today. I'm just, even before we started this, when I mentioned, I just feel sick. It's just like one of those days I went to go take a nap today. Literally wanted to sleep for like an hour, and I slept for like almost 4.5, and just woke up and I was like, well, I guess I needed that, but fuck, my day's ruined.
Yeah.
Like, there it goes.
Looking at you makes me sick.
Oh, thanks, honey. Appreciate that, bud.
You know what would help that, dude?
If you lick my butthole.
Yep. That'll give you a different sick feeling.
Yeah, that'll enlighten you.
Cure the other one. Instantly.
Was that from the Major Pain movie when the kid's crying? He's like, I have something to help you take your mind off that pain. Give me your finger. Wants to snap his finger. Anyways, but yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson's cool to listen to, but sometimes, yeah, he comes on like that, like high and mighty, like it feels like he's like in that high and mighty throne, like I know more than you, like Ron Swanson in Home Depot, you know, just coming in like, sure, how can I help you? I know more than you, and just walking away. It's exactly what it feels like.
It's hilarious you say that, dude. Me and Kim just went to Best Buy this weekend, and I bought an iWatch. And a guy literally came up to me, was talking to me, and I was just blowing him off. I'm like, yeah. And he walked away, and Kim was like, I know more than you. I was like, yeah, pretty much.
I never want to like say that to like, that's how I feel when I talk to people at like technology stores, you know, and I don't know everything that I know about like tech and whatnot. The only place I don't do that is like fucking Micro Center because I don't know everything that exists when it comes to a computer
There's
part.
some real fucking nerds that work in there though.
Yeah, like that to me is like the real Genius Bar. Like
Yeah.
fuck Apple
Not
Genius
Geek
Bar. Like
Squad.
yeah, that ain't Geek Squad. That is the squad, not
Yeah.
Geek Squad. But yeah, I always feel like that when I go into Best Buy. You go in there and you just like they start talking to you something. They're like, "Oh, we've got this, gaming PC here and this and that." And then just in my head, it's like, "That's a pre-built. Like, stop fucking talking to me. Like, I will murder you."
Like, I just gonna murder him, dude.
It's just that angry thought, because you're just like, I know they're trying to sell, and even if they know that that's like not the way to go, they're just trying to sell, and I get it, even though they don't work on commission. But you're just
the dude did that with the iWatch, dude. He's trying to ask me if I want to make phone calls and text if I leave my phone at home. It's like, it's only $10 added on your bill. Who's your provider? I'm like, well, I have a work phone I use for a personal phone. I don't pay for a thing. Oh, I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but would you be interested in doing that? $10 extra on your. I'm like, again, no. My work pays for everything. I'll be fine. I'm not buying this. I'm literally not buying this to fucking call and text. I'm literally buying this for a golf GPS. So fucking sell me the damn thing and fuck off.
Did you end up buying it? Dope. I've been really wanting to get one of those.
It's fucking sweet. I'll tell you, it does a hell of a lot more than I thought it did.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it more so for like, and I know I can get like, Fitbit and all that stuff, but I wanted to get it so if I'm like driving, I can see the text, I can like monitor my health stuff.
Tell you what,
you shouldn't be reading text while you're driving.
I'm not. Yeah, that's true.
Safety
I'm
first.
not gonna get a vaccine. I got no problem carrying this around.
There you go.
That's for the people who think you're gonna get microchipped by getting the vaccine, but walk around with an iPhone like a bunch of fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, you just broke the whole theory. Have you
I
seen
just hate when people say that. I gotta get microchipped. Well, guess what? You've got a giant fucking microchip in your pocket probably right now.
You've already been chipped. You got a social security number.
You got a social security number. What the fuck does it matter?
You get chipped at birth.
Yeah, and you know how hard it is to change your name because you have to go and put that on the new social security. Like, that's why it's difficult to change your name unless it's a wedding. Like, because I was born with my mother's name because my parents weren't married. And when I changed to my last name of my dad's name,
yeah,
it was a fucking hassle, dude. It was a fucking hassle. Like, I was a little kid and I had to go down to the courthouse. I had no fucking clue what was going on.
That's
crazy.
But
I'll never forget that. We had to go all the way down to Cleveland. Like, it was fucking dumb.
Yeah, I mean, to do anything with your own life is a pain in the ass when you have to do that when it comes to the social.
Unless you want to kill yourself. That you can do easily.
Oh, yeah. Easily. I mean, it's in essence
real quick. Sorry.
Fine. I'm just gonna let it roll off. But
taxes and death. That's the only for sure things you got in your life. So
it's a human barcode, dude. Like,
it's true.
It's literally like, you were born in this world. You may not want to be a part of this society or in this system, but fuck you. You're gonna do that anyway because you have no choice.
Dude.
Yeah, exactly. Nice Star Wars reference for anyone that didn't get that.
If you didn't get it, stop watching the podcast. I'm just kidding.
Turn it off right now.
Turn it off.
We're going to look at the numbers of this, and there's like half the viewers gone. We're like, well, I guess that's a lot of people who haven't seen Star Wars. Yeah, no, it's nuts with the fucking barcode shit. I mean, honestly, like I've seen videos and it blows my mind. Videos of people who have gotten the vaccine and they're like putting like magnets on their arm and they're like, oh look, you see it's sticking on my arm. They're magnetizing these. It's in there, and I'm like,
I am Magneto.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, first of all, most of those videos are trolling, all right? Because there's no way that that's happening.
We should do one of those for home and be like, I'm not wearing hockey pads.
We should do that. Unlimited power. And just magnets just
everywhere. Coming together. That would be pretty cool, dude. We could probably magnetize an entire room and do that.
Probably.
We should do it.
I'm down.
I'm gonna start messing with magnets.
Yeah, TikTok City.
COVID vaccines and magnets, dude. This is what we're about to get into.
Is that our next conspiracy theory to talk about?
Oh, we're gonna be acting it out, dude. These are real life reenactments.
Yeah. Fact or cap.
Cantina Corner Edition.
That's right.
Fucking, we're here to debunk stupid shit so you don't have to.
Yep, we're doing the work that people don't want to do.
Putting in the man hours.
That's what we're doing. Black leather gloves.
That's a TikTok we need to do without copyright. It's like the first one. What is it? We put liquid paper on a bee. He died. I mean, first of all, those TikTok videos where it shows that goddamn magnet, it's like, how do you not think in your head when I read the comments and they're like, I knew it, it's real. I'm like, do you not know like how there's like literally clear glue you can put on that stuff and they're not showing you the other side of that and they're like sticking it on a human arm? You know how much random sticky shit you can use to like have that attach? And you really got to tell me that that's like real?
Or you can probably get a magnet to stick to you with some water, to be honest with you.
Probably something as simple as that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm known to do Neil deGrasse Tyson, but
water and salt. Yeah, it would probably stick to your arm. If you're a little sweaty, do a couple jumping jacks. Boom.
Do a little bit of cardio right beforehand.
People put in the man hours for those TikToks, dude.
TikTok video.
People put in the man hours.
They got a whole R&D department. They got everything. There's just a bunch of teenagers trying out different stuff in a garage. Like they're just getting hurt left and right. And this guy's like, keep working, figure it out. I got to go pump out 2 more videos today.
3 videos a day.
They're trying all the challenges. There's kids coughing up cinnamon. There's kids
chewing down Tide Pods. They're trying it all. You know what an R&D department for TikTok would be like that scene in fucking Talladega Nights where he's like, you know, I heard they just did an experiment where they put a pitchfork through a pig. It died. But it's just cool that we're trying stuff like that.
It is exactly what it'd be like.
I shit you not. Since we're talking about this, my dad always has had TikTok recently, and he's been on it now and then, but now he's like really getting addicted to it, like watching it left and right. Like he'll be like, have you seen that TikTok? Have you seen that? And I'm like, yes, I did. And he's like, oh, do we have like the same feed or something? I was like, well, first of all, welcome to the club. But yes, it's the same algorithm. We're all going to see the same shit.
Welcome to the club. We're into the same weird shit.
But I went up in the kitchen the other day and I was like, oh, what's that smell? Like something smells good cooking. And he was like, oh, I saw this TikTok video on how to make homemade Cheez-Its. He's like, I'm doing it right now. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And I opened the oven and it smelled fantastic. And then like I went up there later again and him and my mom, I saw half of them gone. And I'm like, well, how did it turn out or whatever? And my dad's like, it was horrible. He was like, don't do it. He's like, he's like, I used like different cheese. He's like, it stuck to the wax paper. It tastes horrible.
He should have taken one and been like, you gotta give me this recipe.
But I mean, it was like the first time in my life I've seen someone be like, I saw this on TikTok and I'm trying it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I had high hopes for it. I had high hopes for it. And then I was like, but then after he did all that work, I'm like, why didn't we just buy Cheez-Its? Why did we go through all this?
We've done this. This isn't a new invention.
I'm like, we have the technology. We don't need to do this.
God, you could have made a pretty funny TikTok, dude. Like throwing it back to the David Blaine YouTube video. Like after he pulls him out of the oven, like run up to him and be like, Cheez-Its! 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 It's a great video. Highly recommend.
Yeah. But I mean, TikTok, that's one thing I do want to talk about. TikTok is getting crazy these days with like all the different stuff you can try and like people doing like all these like home hacks and like different health hacks. I mean, have you seen any that are like really, really crazy to you?
I've seen a lot of stupid ass ones. And I don't even know what the guy's name is. I know it's a black kid. I don't think he's American. But he usually like shows someone doing some sort of stupid, completely unnecessary life hack, and then he cuts to him, and he just does it normally, and he goes, like this one guy. I think I showed Nicholas one. The kid shuts his shirt in the door, the window's down, so he goes like this, and then he grabs scissors out of the glove compartment, like everybody has scissors in their glove compartment, and cuts his shirt so he can get free. And so he does it. He shuts himself in the door with the hoodie, and then he just puts his hand through, opens the handle, opens up, and just goes. Some of the dumbest shit out there, man.
Well, it's like, this was another one that I had a conversation with my dad about a TikTok thing. There was one, I don't know if you saw it, Cody, because I know Nick's not on it, because he has more mental fortitude than we do to stay away from that shit. But it was old school stoves, and it was a video where this person was like, I bet a lot of people didn't know this, and it was literally an old school stove, and she like lifted up the top tray, and it like had like a hook and stuff, kind of like, you know, the front of your car, so that you can get underneath it, and you could clean underneath it. Like you literally lift up the whole top, and it just like angled. And the guy in the who like split the video was like, no way, there's no fucking way. And then he went into his kitchen and tried it, and he had like the same like era old stove, and he was like, holy shit. And I went into my kitchen. This was like a couple days before this happened. I go into my kitchen, and my dad was like, I saw something, and he tried pulling up that thing, and I was like, I thought about it too, but that's for older stoves. We have a new one. I didn't think that it was possible, but he started pulling up on it. And I was like, I thought about it, and I'm like, there's no fucking way. But the fact that it comes into your brain where you're like, should I try that? Is that real? Or am I going to feel stupid? I don't know if I want to go like full on in this, or just assume that that's like fake and feel like a
most
moron.
of those are fake.
Most of them, yeah. But I did look that one up, and that was legit. Like if you look it up online, like if the older style stoves, you can just like prop them up and clean underneath. And I was like, I had no fucking clue.
My stove was like that. The top, like you can separate the top from the rest of the stove.
See, I didn't know that. And watching that, I
Now,
was
how
like,
often do you do that, Nicholas?
Fucking never. Just because I can do it doesn't mean I'm going to do it.
Just saying we have the capability.
Yeah, it's possible, but it's not probable.
Oh my God. Fucking social media, man.
It's crazy, man. People are getting famous as fuck off that shit too.
Yeah, what is it that one chick who just now started to make music videos and was a fucking
Which one?
No, it was the one that did that one video where she was like, it was like that following shaky cam, and she was like boom, 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 and then she'd like turn her head and like, yes, she's making music videos now. She just is like a music artist all of a sudden.
The bitch, dude.
And I don't understand it. I don't.
Do.
What?
Their names are hot. Their name sells, and people say, hey, I can make you sound good if you just talk into a microphone.
I guess
we could put out, dude, I've thought about this so many times driving home. Like I'll listen to a rap beat. I'm like, dude, I'm not a great rapper, but I feel like I could write a good fucking song for someone to just riff on, and I could get them famous. I'll be a ghostwriter. I feel like I could do that. Because I feel like there's a lot
nowadays is kind of
it's terrible.
It's terrible.
Horrible. And this is, I'm not taking a shot at country music here. I love country music. This is why country music is as popular as it is, because there's real artists in that genre, and pretty much that genre alone. Somewhat in the rock, but rap, it's like 5 people.
Yeah. And what's funny about rap nowadays, with not being able to understand any of them half the time, like, you remember the old argument when people who liked rap and people who like heavy metal, like the people who like rap would be like, how can you listen to that shit? Like, what the hell are they even saying? You can't understand any of it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
you're doing the same thing now too. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But at least I know under those screams and growls, there's real words written. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's horrible. Horrible. But I think we're getting to that age now where the younger generation of music is starting to separate from us.
Yeah. We're starting to sound like get off my lawn people.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real, it is trash. I try to keep an open mind with music, but
I can't.
I mean, it's
well, you don't like Wiz Khalifa, dude, so you're just automatically just denounced as a... Should we explain to the people why you don't like Wiz Khalifa, dude?
No.
Why?
We don't need to get into that.
I think we do, dude. I think we that would spark up some conversation, dude.
It's because he's from Pittsburgh.
Oh, I didn't know that. No, I kind of hate him more.
Why?
He's lying. You sit on a podcast of lies.
He doesn't like it because he pronounces his words too much.
You just don't like the way he raps.
It's the exact opposite of the mumble rap.
Really?
Yeah. I just can't. I don't know. I can't dig it. It's just not like
he enunciates too much.
It's all right, but
He enunciates. He's like the fucking the Captain Kirk of rap to you. It's just
That's it. He's just like Captain Kirk. No.
He just over dramatic with his speaking.
Yep.
I rolled a blunt while I was going in my car.
Not even remotely close, but sure.
It was my best try, dude. It's my best attempt.
All right. Well, I'm not writing a song for you.
That's fine.
Keep that in mind.
I couldn't fucking do it even if I tried.
Me either.
But question about that: if you were a ghostwriter of somebody, would you be upset if like no one because obviously you are a ghostwriter, you got no credit for any of it other than the person you wrote it for, and then like everyone thinks
because I'd be getting rights and money from it.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean you would, but that wouldn't get under your skin. I'd be getting all
I outside of getting the public credit for it, I'd be getting all the money for it. So who gives a shit?
If you know you're ghostwriting something for somebody, then you kind of understand what comes with that.
I mean, think of how many ghostwriters there are. Like,
there's a shit ton.
Profitable business.
Yeah, I mean, there was even ghost artists for comic books back in the day. People, drawing and colorizing and doing all that shit, and they weren't even on the fucking cover of some of the most famous comics. I mean, let alone the one I know of is Superman. I mean, because I actually supposedly have family ties of someone in our family, like that. No, I wish
I have family ties to Clark Kent.
But my grandmother,
big deal or anything, but
my grandmother grew up in fucking Cleveland, and I guess her and my aunt used to go over there. What?
Sorry, for a second in my head, like that story was about to go to a total different direction. My grandmother and my aunt got jiggy with it.
Would surprise you.
Exactly. Sorry, continue.
No, you're good. I was like trying to go through. I knew you guys were like still finishing off that. And I was like, I'm gonna chug through this sentence. I'm gonna get it out. And you started laughing. I was like, I'm done. But no, I mean, she apparently says that there's some like uncolorized or colorized drawings that she has in her attic because she used to her and my aunt used to hang out with someone in our family long down the line that was a ghost artist for the original Superman comics, because Superman comics were created and everything was started, in Ohio, Cleveland area.
Yes.
And I want to fucking find them so bad. She says she has them somewhere. She knows. She swears to God.
Them. I'm telling you right now, if my uncle hears this, he's going to go over there and he's going to try to find them for you.
Yeah, I mean, we've gone over there and tried to find them before. Haven't come across anything yet, but she's got a lot of stuff. So, but if I ever come across that, holy shit.
If you do, I'm being dead serious. Let me know.
I will.
My uncle will probably know exactly how much that's worth.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'd want to sell them.
Mason's dad. Oh, no, I know you might not want to sell them, but when you find out the price, you might want to sell them.
Just to get them appraised.
I'm telling you right now, if you find out the price, you might want to sell them. People are getting into collecting, dude, that just don't deserve to be in collecting. Not that they don't deserve it. That's the wrong wordage. They don't know shit about it, so they're overpaying for shit. And it's kind of dumb right now, the shit that's selling in that business.
Look at the shit going on with Pokemon cards right now.
But prime example, COVID hit, people have nothing to do. They get back into Pokemon cards. Pokemon cards are selling like crazy.
It was crazy when I stumbled on YouTube channels that were just like people unboxing Pokemon cards. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this is weird.
Yeah, it got huge out of. I mean, it's always been huge, but like it's blown up even more out of fucking nowhere. And I mean, I see people that I follow, like different influencers, if you want to call them whatever, people I follow on Instagram, TikTok, all that shit. All of a sudden, I saw them starting to like waiting in lines at Target and like looking for cards. And I'm seeing more and more videos of people trying to like buy out stores. And I'm just like, when did this like become bigger than it already was?
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere. And it's because people want to watch it. And there's like an addiction factor, I think, to people watching someone just open up card packs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's
no risk involved, but you get that payout when that is something sweet.
And I'll tell you this, it's kind of like playing video games, like just for an example, I'll use Warzone. Like getting a dub in Warzone gives you some sort of like dopamine in your brain, that's like very satisfying and just makes you want more of it. it's the same way with collecting. I've noticed it with my dad and my uncle because obviously people don't know this. They're massive fucking toy collectors. Nicholas has seen what my old bedroom has turned into.
Yeah.
And my fucking parents' garage, and they have a storage unit. But anyways,
Wow.
it's bad. Like I've watched a lot of streamers on Facebook and stuff. There's a lot of streamers that are pretty big end, like Rasta La Vista and Prime Time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not taking shots at them because they're probably buying the stuff because it looks cool. I mean, Rasta collects like the big busts and the statues. Those things are fucking sweet. All those are always fucking cool. The detail on those are incredible. But like they have all these comics in the background of this stuff and they're graded and shit. And I was showing my dad, I was like, look at this. All these these random streamers that are like my age are like getting into comics. I was like, it's just weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
And because I would go to those comic shows growing up and it was just like all like your stereotypical old like 40-year-old virgin, type people. And now it's like all these streamers, it's like super cool to have like comic books in your background and they're graded and they're high grades. And my dad looks at me, he's like, yeah, not one of those comics is worth shit. It's all newer stuff. The covers look cool. That's probably why they're buying them, but they probably overpaid for them, and they probably won't be able to sell them for half of what they bought them for in a few years because it's just new shit. It's not anything worth anything. It's like it's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Collecting is such a weird thing because like, I guess it's just like in the eye of the beholder, unless like it's like the collector. Like if you're just collecting just to collect cool shit, I get it. But if you're collecting like my dad and my uncle collect to resell, it's always what's the value in buying this to resell it.
Yeah, it's an investment.
Right. So I do get that there's two different ends of the spectrum, but there's a lot more people in that world of collecting, and obviously movies and pop culture has definitely helped the superhero world in that aspect with the movies and stuff. It's cool to like Spider-Man now, it's cool to like Star Wars now. I never thought that would be the case growing up, but now
dude, I never thought anime would be huge.
Yeah, dude, that's another weird one.
That one is definitely weird. I always thought like growing up watching anime, like I was like the outcast and stuff. And now that's like I'm older, it's like, why is this so popular? Where was this when I was like into this shit? Like,
yeah, I was considered a fucking weirdo for liking that shit.
Exactly.
I couldn't talk to nobody about it except people that watched like Cartoon Network, Dragon Ball Z. That was the extent of what I could go.
Yeah. Yep. Now there's people who probably think your Gunslinger poster is fucking sweet.
Yeah. And that's a whole anime that I watched back then. That's all about little girls that are orphans who get trained by fucking an assassin organization, and no one suspects a little girl to be an assassin, but they're trained killers, and it's a fucking awesome anime. Huh?
Red Sparrow? Isn't that the Russian book or whatever?
Yeah, that's they made that fucking movie about it with what's her face from Hunger
Jennifer
Games.
Lawrence.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty decent movie.
Wasn't that a book though? That was a book first, right?
Might have been.
It probably was. I assumed it was based off something.
It was based in Russia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was based off like the Cold War, like what the Russians would do.
It was pretty much stolen from Black Widow's origin.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's pretty much, if you want to sum it up, that's what it is. But like shit like that is awesome. But if you try to like explain that to somebody that it's not just like some weird cartoon, they'd be like, that's fucking anime. Or they'd always just assume porn. Always porn.
When this hit me, that anime got big again, is I was at the mall. I think it was like in January. It was either January or December. It was either December last year or January this year. And me and Kim were walking around the mall, and there was a kid with a fucking Yu Yu Hakusho shirt. And it's like, first of all, that show didn't last that long. And second of all, that's definitely a show I would have made fun of if a lot of people, obviously me and Nicholas used to watch it growing up, but I'm like, what? And the kid had to have been like 14, 15. Like, hey, he's getting some parenting in the right way, but
yeah.
Still, like, I didn't even know they made shirts and merchandise for that show anymore. It
makes
literally
me
didn't last
buy,
that long.
Makes me want to buy a Yu Yu Hakusho shirt right now, honestly. I really want to go buy one.
That show was so badass, dude.
That show was sweet.
That, and also I remember loving the hell out of Gundam Wing. That shit was dope.
Just Toonami, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I knew a lot of other stuff outside of Toonami, but I mean, even if you like talked about those things, it was weird. And out of nowhere now, anime is cool. Watching anime is cool. Like, you know, fucking video gaming is now cool. Like everything that was just like either sort of cool, like you could do it, no one gave you crap about it, or like you had to hide it, is now like the thing to do. And it's the same thing with clothing brands. Like you look at like if you bought
Champion,
Champion back in the day, you were poor as fuck.
I can't
you were a
believe
loser.
Kim still wears an old Champion sweatshirt, and she was like, yeah, this was before it was cool. Now it's like $60 for a sweatshirt. It's like, what the hell happened to Champion? Like that used to be like you go into Walmart for buying Champion. Like now it's like you got to go to Dick's Sporting Goods to buy Champion. Like
weird.
Super weird, dude.
It's just as expensive as wearing something like Nike now.
It literally is. They're the same price.
It's insane. And nothing changed about it.
No.
Nothing.
A lot of people were just poor and they're like, yeah, this is some good shit. Crazy.
I think a lot of what has to do with a lot of this, if I was probably to sum it up, would have to be social media and the different apps that we have on like phones and computers and stuff. Honestly is what's changed popularity for things. Or the fact that like
cultural mixing.
That, or the also the fact of like people who like that stuff back then, like us liking anime and all that stuff, are now older and having kids, you know, and creating, you know, people to like that type of stuff, you know, because they're growing up with it and finding
we're that main market now in like our 30s and stuff. Our late 20s, early 30s, we're like that big market that just is kind of like bringing that stuff back.
Yeah, I mean, for case in point, when I look at our like analytics for like our audio listens on our podcast, our main group that it says for people who are letting us know what age they are is between 28 to 40. Or I think it's like 25. It's like early 20s to 40-year-olds. And that's exactly the type of stuff we're talking about, you know, and it's just, I don't know.
Crazy. But I think a lot of it does have to do with, like you said, social media, like TikTok and stuff, for example. Like, you can reach everyone around the world. Like if you have a viral video using like an anime sound, people are gonna be like, "Well, what the fuck's that from?" Like now I'm looking into that. Now I'm sparked an interest in this.
Yeah, or they're making light of this situation, like all the funny anime TikToks about like people fighting over dubbed versus subbed, and like making comedy jokes and funny videos regarding that argument. And then someone's like, oh, that looks funny. Maybe I do want to get into that, or I'll find out the differences. And then the next thing you know, you're going down a wormhole.
Dubbed or subbed? Give me your opinion right now.
Oh, no. Subbed.
I used to be subbed. I think I'm dubbed now.
Subbed with subtitles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I used to think that was the way to go. Or no, sorry. No, then dubbed, in English.
Dub was the way to go. Now it's subbed.
Yeah. That's why I want to make sure I'm clear here. Because I used to, for the longest time, thought dubbed was the way to go. And then I got around to watching Dragon Ball Super, subtitled and all that, and I was just like, "This is so much fucking better!" Like, my god, it made the show just so much better. And then when I went and caught some episodes in English, I was like, "Oh, this is garbage." I couldn't do it.
Sounds like a girl.
Yeah, it was just bad.
Dragon Ball, I will say, whether it's Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super and the movies, those I have a love-hate between dubbed or subbed. Because I love the voices that they have for the English actors.
Not anymore.
You know, well, I know not anymore, so now it doesn't matter. Yeah, that was fucking hard to hear, because Goku's voice actor, holy shit. I mean, the stuff that he would pull off with his screams and like hearing him in the movies and everything else was phenomenal. And
he
wasn't
I'm so glad Goku's either. He played like 5 or 6 characters in the show.
Oh, I know he did. Same with like the guy who did Vegeta's voice. You know, I'm pretty sure he did Piccolo's too, if I'm not mistaken. But like those, I can appreciate subbed, but I do enjoy the dub versions. But like if it's just any other run-of-the-mill anime, no, I gotta hear subbed because it's just horrible.
I got a feeling that's nostalgia, because like I grew up watching those. Dubbed.
It is
like
it is.
So every
100%.
time I hear that, it's like but I can't hear Beerus talk in English, dude. I just can't.
No.
I can't do
it.
It
is. Yeah.
He's so much more badass in Japanese.
Yeah, he's got that like deep, like rustic.
He's just a boss.
Okay.
What's like, just in Super was like immediately I was like, that might be my new favorite character.
Yeah.
It was Vegeta for all the time, but I was like, this is somebody finally that's like just as badass as him.
Got him right there, dude.
Yep.
Thanks to Adam's
That
dad.
that
Bob
was one of
Paints
the
on
better.
YouTube. Go follow him.
Right here.
Bob
You can
Paints.
see my
Or
Kid
was
Buu
it?
in the
There's
background
Kid
there.
Buu. And then you got
Yep.
Goku. Yeah, we do like Dragon Ball Z, people.
Yeah, all custom art from my father. If you want any custom art or are interested in it, let us know because I can let him know. But yeah, I mean, it's Dubs or Subs is an interesting argument. It is very interesting, and I understand that. Like, that's also with like regular movies too. People don't like watching certain films because they don't want to read subtitles. Like if it's a foreign film, but you're missing out on a lot of good movies. Like
Yeah.
if you're not like gonna like take the time to read. And I understand people are like, well, I want to watch a movie so I don't have to read, or I'd read a book. And I'm like, well, okay, I understand the argument, but in my opinion, you're just fucking lazy. Like just read the goddamn subtitles.
I gotta say, that's why I never saw A Quiet Place, the first one, and me and Kim just went and saw the second one. And I was like, they have to be quiet the whole time. So like, is there really like talking? Is there like a real dialogue here? And there is, but it's like whispering like this. I kind of get it.
Dude. The
By
first
way,
one in theaters?
my review on that movie is not particularly good. So
No.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very skeptical if it's going to be as good as the first. Because the first in the movie theaters, because the way that they
went
did
to the theaters, dude. It was the first time I went back to theaters.
Yeah. Well, the second one, I didn't think it was going to be great.
You know
first
what?
one,
you saw the first one?
Yes.
Have you seen the first one?
Yeah,
okay.
I thought it was pretty good.
So, I don't know. I'm pretty sure Kim said they show the monsters a lot more in the second one than they did the first one.
But,
bro, I am dead ass set that they totally ripped that from clickers from The Last of Us. They sound just like them. They literally use echo to hear. They sound like them. They don't look like them. Obviously, they're more monster-like. But I literally looked up a YouTube video of a clicker encounter in The Last of Us and played it for Kim. She's like, "Oh yeah, they do sound." I'm like, I am dead ass set that that's where they got that from.
Yeah, when I watched the first one, that was my first thought, because that's exactly how they are. Yeah. They just look different.
Like even the way like their heads open up, like when I'm like, this is a clicker, like.
But I think you would appreciate I have obviously seen the second one, but usually sequels are hit or miss. The first one is a really solid movie.
I feel like
really
the first one's probably ruined for me because I've seen the second one now. Obviously, spoiler alert. You know, what's his nuts is dead. I don't even know what his name is in the movie.
That does ruin that.
So.
Yeah, that does ruin that because
obviously, spoiler alert, their one son is dead because they go back and visit his grave in the second one. I was sitting there, I was like, what's this? She's like, oh, their little boy died. I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm here.
I'll tell you, those, honestly, it kind of sucks those got ruined for you because those are two very strong moments in that movie. Like, really.
I shouldn't say that, that was necessarily ruined for me that he was dead because I've seen that where like they're trapped in the car or whatever and he sacrifices himself.
Yeah, he just screams.
I've seen that clip. But
yeah, it's a powerful scene. He did a good job with that.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
And he wrote that movie. I mean, it's fucking great.
She was like, why? Because he was in Ohio for one of the premieres, was at the one in Independence, and he showed up to the theater or whatever and watched the movie with whoever was there for the sneak peek.
Yeah, he was doing like a tour across the country for that.
Kim was like, why is he there? I'm like, he directed the fucking movie. I'm like, he's the big, like Emily Blunt's in it, yes, but he's the biggest name associated with this movie. He's going to be the one pushing it.
Yeah, it's his wife.
By the way, good for him for marrying Emily Blunt. I didn't realize they were married in real life.
Yeah, and what's funny is she wasn't actually originally supposed to be in the first movie.
Really?
And she talked about it. I forgot what talk show she was on. I think it might have been Conan, where she was saying that he was writing the movie and doing all this stuff. And obviously he wanted her to read it because, they're both in the business. He wanted her opinion, yada, yada. And I guess she was reading it and I forgot who was supposed to be in her role. And she was like, okay, about not being in the movie, didn't plan on it whatsoever. And then when she read it, she was like, I need to be in this movie. And she basically like jokingly was like laughing, like, yeah, I may or may not have like forced whoever was like in that, like supposed to be in that role out of it, and basically told him like, you're putting me in this damn movie and I'm going to be your wife in it and blah, blah, blah. And it was just kind of interesting. She was like, yep, no, fuck you. I'm in this. Like,
yeah,
you're out.
I will say I'm pretty sure the first one was probably his first movie he did, right?
I think like
technically his second.
So.
Yeah, I think it was like full control. Yeah, first thing he did.
I don't know how the first one was, but like this one, I was like, you could tell this is a very young director. It was good. I'm not even saying. There were some plot holes, obviously, but it was pretty like your stereotypical standard movie. I don't want to ruin it for you guys. So
no, you're good because I will see it. But I know the second one.
It'll be eventually a while before I see it.
Because Nick, wouldn't you agree that the first one really is not? There's really no plot holes because it's a very simplistic movie.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so I'd really have to go back through to like try and look for plot holes. But from what I can remember, yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, it was a simple movie. Like it was a solid movie. Yeah, from start to finish, it really wasn't bad at all. I enjoyed the first one.
Yeah,
I should say moments that just don't hit.
Yeah.
They don't bring
not necessarily holes in the movie, but it's just like I understand what you're trying to do here, but it was just like that just totally missed the ball.
Just kind of flat.
Yeah. There was one in particular at the very end. I was like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you that that's what happened. I seriously, I even told it at the camera movie. I was like, I don't believe that would happen. I do not believe that would happen.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. What was it? Oh, that last movie I saw that I was disappointed in was that Spiral, the new Saw. Fucking trash. I hated it.
Another Saw?
Yeah. Chris Rock wrote it and started it.
Chris Rock wrote it? Really?
Yeah. Well, he didn't. Okay. He wrote it with Lee Whannell and James Wan, the original writers and people of Saw from the very beginning. He wrote it with them because he's a huge Saw fanatic. He loves the series. And so he brought an idea to the studio, worked with them on it. One of the directors who has already directed 3 of the Saw movies, which really weren't like the best ones that they had made in the series, came back to direct this one. So he knows what he's doing, but it was weak as fuck. There was only like 3 or 4 traps. They were garbage. They barely went into them. The movie was more comedic. Like they were like forcing comedy. Like it opened up with a great monologue from Chris Rock. Great monologue from him. And I was like, all right, like all my scared aversions from this movie, I'm cool with it. This is starting off great. And then it just fucking dives. It just takes a straight cliff dive.
It should have stopped after 2.
Honestly, 1 and 2 are the most solid out of all of them. Like 2 is phenomenal. I love 2.
2, I guess what was going to happen, but it's still a great movie.
It is. It's a great movie. It's a solid Saw movie. Like it's really good, and I love the ending on it because I know you're good with that shit. I usually try not to think about it. Like I try to figure it out a little bit, but I don't force it because I want to be surprised. And I thought the ending of that one was great.
I try not to, bro. It's just my brain.
I know. But this movie was bad, and the critics said it was good. And I'm a huge Saw fanatic. I watch them all the time. I mean, fucking my girlfriend loves them. We watch them just chilling on the couch. And it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And like the soundtrack in the movie was bad. I don't know. To me, when I look online, it's like a 50-50 split on whether it was good or bad between people. It wasn't like one or the other. And even though the original Saw movies, like all the ones that they did, they were always like focused more about the traps. And I may sound like a psychotic, but like when it comes to those movies, I find the traps really interesting because it's hugely imaginative what people come up with to put these people in those situations. Yeah. Like it's always interesting because I'm like, what are they going to come up with next? Like, what is this person going to come up with? How do they solve it? Like, and I always like looking at them, trying to figure out, is there a way out of it? Like, did the movie tell me that there's no way out of it? And I like looking around and figuring out if there was something he could have done to avoid it. You know, like in 2, you remember how 2 starts and that guy's got the Venus flytrap thing that like crushes his head?
Yeah. Doesn't the girl have it too? Isn't there 2 people?
Well, no, the Venus flytrap was the original. The bear trap was the original one. The reverse bear trap that like rips your mouth open.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was one of the biggest draws of those movies when they first came out. Were like the traps and just like the ridiculous situations it put people in. Yeah,
oh
that were
God,
like
cutting his
creatively like yeah, just insane. Like
yeah, it was just interesting. It was creative and interesting. And even
Yeah.
James Wan and Lee Whannell said when they first made those movies, they didn't intend on making like what's now considered the torture porn genre.
What
But
did you
it just
say?
torture porn. That's what they call it.
That's the genre that movie falls under.
That's what like kind of like in conversation people have like dubbed it under is like torture porn. People
really
are
weird.
like, yeah, people are into watching people get
I can
tortured.
see that though.
Like not in like a sexual way, but like they're just
torture. Why do we have to put the word porn after it?
Because there's some sexual stuff that goes with it.
You can look it up. I mean, it's a
I
thing.
believe you. Trust me. I'm not doubting you for a second. I'm just wondering why we need to add an extra word to something that's already there.
I think because there's torture, and then if you want people who like watching people get tortured, they use the word porn instead of addiction or addict. It's got more of like that meaning to it.
More PC term.
I'm not an addict, I swear.
But yeah, they never intended on doing that, and that's what it became. But I love the creativity of it, and these traps were not creative; they were just simple and they were stupid.
It was a low budget movie, that first one.
No, I'm talking about the new one.
Oh, I'm talking about the original Saw movie was just a low budget fucking
$1 million. That's all
horror
they had.
movie.
They had $1 million, and Lionsgate was just like, like go ahead and make it. And the next thing you know, we've got one of the most iconic horror franchises there is.
But it's getting like Fast and the Furious, dude. There's too many.
Yeah, there was too many, but like I said, it was like later on, it was like fuck the story. I really don't care because it's like so convoluted and crazy now. I just want to see like the creativeness of like all the madness. That's
you know
all
what? If I didn't know you were talking about Saw, I would have thought you were talking about Fast and Furious.
That's exactly
what you just said.
And that's why I like Fast and Furious.
Can we make these car stunts? Let's take a car. Let's fucking yeet it off a cliff. We'll have a stealth bomber come up and catch it with a magnet.
Or now they're actually looks like they're going to space. Like they're literally living the joke that people keep saying, and they show in that new trailer where they show fucking Tyrese Gibson and Ludacris in that car that's got a jet on it, and they're flying up in the air. It was like, are they really going to space? Like, are they really doing this?
What did they do? Jason X? Was that when Jason was in space?
Was in space?
Oh God!
Because he got frozen and they brought him. He wakes up in the future.
So stupid.
That is a guilty pleasure movie of mine. I love that movie.
I'm sure it is. I believe you.
It's so stupid. And then what is it? They actually kill him. Like they blow him up. His brain, his head is gone. All this. Like the first time you like legitimately are like, okay, he's dead. Like that's it. And then what does he fall on those like micro machines, like the little nanites or whatever they are, and then he just gets recreated as like a Terminator Jason X. Oh God!
That's why I never wanted to bother watching that movie. I was like, this movie just looks stupid. Like I'm good.
No, it was, bro. I watched it once.
It does have one of the best throwback kill scenes ever, though, because it's not even a kill scene, but I forgot which Jason or which Friday the 13th it was, where he killed one girl when he like tied her up in a sleeping bag and he like threw her against a tree, just kept smacking her against a tree. That was in one of the original 80s movies, and it was hilarious. And they brought it back in Jason X because there's like a virtual program where you can like basically play like VR hologram games. And so they want to trick him because they're trying to run from him. So they put him in the simulation so it looks like he's on like Camp Crystal Lake. And then they like jokingly, they show like two naked women sitting there and they're like, come and play with us, like hang out with us, camp counselors. And then later they go back and they're like, what's he doing? And they cut back to him and he's just whipping this sleeping bag against the street. It's got both of them in it. It's like, that's so great. It's one of the, like the funniest kills. When does Fast and Furious come out? That's what I need to look up.
Who cares?
July.
I thought it was July.
No, I have no idea.
June 25th. It's this month.
June 25th. Han's coming back.
I know.
I don't know how. I'm pretty sure I watched that dude blow up. It's gonna be interesting to see that one.
Didn't Jason Statham kill him?
Yeah. Dominic Toretto.
You killed my brother. We're gonna have a problem,
brother.
That Hobbs and Shaw movie wasn't that great. Like
it wasn't bad though.
It wasn't bad, but I was expecting more.
I'm super critical of movies, so it's really weird that I'm not really going to talk shit about it because it is.
I was surprised.
It's because I was dead set on that movie being just dog shit.
So it's
Just
just
pure
slightly
dog
better than
shit.
that.
So it lived above my expectations.
Yeah, with The Rock
It was
holding the plane.
watchable. I'll say that. It was watchable. I
The
will
Rock
say The Rock
held
and
the
Jason
plane.
Statham have such a good, their chemistry is so good that it just the movie around them is complete ass. It makes no sense. There's literally like the structure. Yeah. Obviously you're not watching those type of movies for it. But their banter throughout the whole movie kept me entertained.
Like, what's that scene?
And Ryan
The Rock.
Reynolds being in it. That was a nice surprise.
That was. Is that one of my favorite lines that The Rock or Dwayne Johnson uses when they're like getting on like the regular commercial plane to take a flight to Hawaii or whatever it was, and Jason Statham and his sister are already sitting down. The Rock's walking through the aisle and he's like reading like the letter number of seats. He's like F1, F2, and then he just turns to Jason Statham. And he's like F you. It's just like it's so corny and great. They're fucking
Their
hatred
banter
for
is
each other.
pretty funny.
God, I don't think there's any other big movies this month, is there? I think that's the big one, other than obviously Quiet Place 2, but that's considered last month. Since we're talking,
Loki comes out this month though.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's right. When does that start?
Not this weekend, but next weekend.
Movie
I'm pretty sure it'll
releases.
be the 11th. Is that a Wednesday? Because it's on Wednesday now. They moved it from Friday to Wednesday.
The 11th is not this Friday, but next Friday.
Okay,
So would it be the 16th that following Wednesday?
No, I believe it moved up.
So it'd be the 9th next Wednesday?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yep.
There's one with Chris Pratt that I want to see. It's coming out on Amazon Prime.
Speaking of shows, I just watched the latest episode of The Bad Batch. I don't know. I'm still kind of on this show. The last episode was alright. I don't know if you guys watched it.
I haven't.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I don't know. Overall, this series has just kind of been blah. Like, it's really been...
I'm going to have to watch it.
It's alright. I mean, it's cool because it's Star Wars, but I'm really like... I could do without it.
Okay, that's what it is. Chris Pratt's got a movie coming out next month in July, on the 23rd. It's The Tomorrow War. Have you guys seen anything about that?
No.
Okay, well, it looks really interesting. It's like supposed to be like a really crazy, like futuristic action movie, but the main plot of it, from what it says here, because I've watched the trailer, but they're drafting people to basically fight for a war in the future.
Yeah. I did see this trailer actually. Never mind.
Yeah, and so if you don't know anything about it, Nick, right?
No.
All right, for you and the listeners, it says a man is drafted to fight in a future war where the fate of humanity relies on his ability to confront his past. But in essence, the movie is like people from the future come back to the past and just tell everyone like what the hell's going on, and they're like, if we don't win this war in the future, like all humanity is doomed and lost, blah blah blah. Kind of almost like a Terminator type thing. Only I don't know what they're fighting. And so people come back and draft people from the past to like travel to the future and fight this war, and then eventually come back if they win it. And I mean, it's kind of a cool concept. But it's coming out on Amazon Prime and in the theaters. So if you want to go to the theaters and see it, I would definitely recommend that type of movie for that. Or
Two
you can
things.
sit at home. What?
One, there's a movie also coming out with Mark Wahlberg called Infinite. That movie looks fucking badass.
Really?
You should look that one up. It's like where he's an infinite. That's like what they call him, and he's lived and died a bunch. One of those movies where he's just kind of just gets reborn, and he's lived all these lives and shit. Yeah. It looks fucking sweet, but the trailer made it look sweet.
Yeah, it said IGN dropped the trailer 4 days ago.
Yeah, I saw
it's
it.
Supposed to come out
to see A Quiet Place.
Oh, September 9th.
But
that's
big time, dude. Big time. Went to see Quiet Place in the theaters. Oh, fucking Top Gun 2 trailer, dude. Oh, it just reminded me that the movie's coming back out, and I was just like, yes. It was just like, down. And then they had the fire jet come around the corner. It was like, and I was like, yeah. Hey, Top Gun.
Dude, that movie
I'm so hyped for that movie.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Speaking of stuff coming back,
trying to make them change anything on this newest Top Gun?
No, but did you see John Cena cuck out, dude?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, I did. Yeah,
John
definitely.
Cena, big time cuck.
What do you mean? What happened?
He called
accidentally called
Taiwan a country, and he had to apologize to China.
Yeah,
He made a public
'cause
apology
I guess
in
Fast
Chinese,
and the Furious,
nonetheless.
yeah, Fast and the Furious' biggest markets is China.
Oh yeah, it is.
So that's he just
He
cucked out
literally
completely,
made a video of him speaking Chinese, apologizing for calling Taiwan
saying
a
he made a
country.
mistake. Yeah,
That's insane.
How would you feel if you're in Taiwan and be like, oh, fuck us, I guess?
yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't bring in enough money for you, so you can just shit on us. But go suck China's dick. God, I could go 5 hours on the social economics between that country and the rest of the world.
I mean,
Ridiculous.
it's ridiculous the control they have over our culture, from our sports figures to movie figures and stuff like
LeBron.
that. Some of these people, yeah, that are huge cultural figures in our society, and they bow down to China like it's nothing.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah,
I
well-
saw Malcolm X. I didn't see it. It was a video, but it had one of his speeches where he talks about the white liberal speech.
Yeah.
And all I could think of was LeBron. All I could think, I was like, wow. I was like, someone needs to play this for LeBron. Like, this
That's
is you,
something
brother. This is
yeah.
you.
That's
You
something I
are what Malcolm X warned people about, and you try to act like he was a very, very smart man. Very smart man.
He tries to act like he's a smart man for following what following what he says, but yeah, he doesn't at all.
He never even said that, dude. When he was reading the first chapter of that book, that's all he said. Very smart man. Very smart man. Even though
No, but
cuff,
I'm just saying he puts out that persona, he calls him a smart
like
man,
he
and
even
because
knows who
he's
Malcolm
reading
X
it.
actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah, LeBron is an interesting character. I mean, he's so tough with his words, and then you see him on the court. What's that most recent flop that he had when he's taking that foul shot?
Oh
I
yeah.
heard something about that. I didn't see it, but I heard people were.
It was
bitching.
ridiculous. Big ass man. All this
Chris
shit.
Paul got underneath him and he acted like he got shot. It actually, his flop looked like the gangster team in dodgeball when they get hit and they act like they got shot.
It's
was
retarded.
bad.
It's retarded. Such a tough guy, big strong man, and then it's just this little dude, and he's just
Cuck.
like, whoa. And then
Cuck,
a fight breaks
but you know
out.
what? You can call me a cuck because I got a picture right over there of him blocking for the Cavs championship right there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that's.
I'll take a championship, but fuck you, LeBron.
Yeah, because it wasn't just him that did it. I mean, it was also the rest of the team.
Yeah, fuck Kyrie too.
God, doesn't it suck that our championship had to, it's like, oh, we got it, and then it's like those two guys later
dirty.
on. Yeah, I do feel dirty. I feel real dirty. That's like Bill Burr talking about that. What championship? The fucking I can't remember. Oh yeah, he was talking about basketball. I forgot what team that he follows, but Boston. He was talking about how Boston. He's like, we have that championship, but he's like, I hate it. It's dirty. I don't like it that we even have it because that's when we bought our team. He's like, we went from last place in the league all the way to winning. He's like, he's like, I can't even enjoy it. He's like, I don't even like that championship. And it's like, when you have moments like that, you're like, we won. I don't like how we won, but we won. It's like,
Bill
fuck,
Burr's a
man.
goat.
He's one of the few people that from a podcasting sense, that man literally just sits there and talks to himself, and it feels like you're talking with him the entire time.
I don't know. I don't get it.
I love how he always starts it off too. He's always like, I'm just checking in on how you're doing. How are you? And then he'll just be like, I fucking woke up this morning. Something on my neck. God damn it. Like, I love this. I can listen to this for hours.
Mm-hmm.
He's always talking about his wife bitching at him and like what he's doing. And he just laughs about how he pisses her off. And he's just like, I don't care. She'll fucking hit me, whatever. All right. This is fucking gold.
Yeah, he's great.
I don't know. Anything else you guys want to hit on? I think that was some good, just random fucking conversation.
That's what it is, bro.
Oh, I know. I just felt therapeutic. I mean, we went on a roller coaster of emotions, people. Roller coaster of emotions.
It's tough, man. You can't talk about the government all the time, man. You're just fucking. I talk to a buddy at work all the time, and somehow government always comes up, and I always leave the room pissed. It's just.
I know.
Not a way to live, man.
No.
Fuck them.
I was doing something to piss you off.
Yeah.
Even when you talk to somebody who you're both like, even if you agree on the same things and you're discussing that, it still aggravates me.
It's
you know?
great though. I love
It's
talking to
heated.
him because we're on different sides of the spectrum, but we're both like open-minded enough and understanding enough to have conversations and bounce shit back and forth. And we both hate the government. So our views might be different, but we know the common enemy. That's a rarity.
That's the key.
It's a key to freedom.
Yep.
And justice.
Enjoy the long weekend.
Stay cool, folks. I got chocolate chip.
It's funny, that day that he was here, my sister wanted to go to Honey Hut.
Really?
And then she texted me that stuff, the pictures the next day. Or it was like maybe a day or two later. And she's like, see, next time I tell you we need to go. She's like, we could have been asking him anything. I was like, I wonder how he'd do about some Yemen questions.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
What are you going to end Yemen?
He just yells out of ice cream flavor.
Mint chocolate chip? I heard mint chocolate chip. Like, what's that scene in Ted 2 where they go to the comedy club and they yell out like absurd ideas? They're like, I need a place. Ferguson, Missouri.
Robin Williams on 9/11.
I heard Starbucks. No, you didn't. Who's in the Starbucks? Bill Cosby. You people are monsters.
That would have been Nick right there. He's sitting there and they're like, what did you get? And he's like, chocolate chip. And then Nick screams out, well, what are they ordering in Yemen?
chocolate bombs.
What does WMD taste like on a waffle cone?
Oh, man.
Oh, but I think that's going to wrap it up for today. But we will have another episode hopefully here soon. I apologize for the little bit of a gap, but it was a long week and it also was the holiday weekend. So we were all doing our own different things. But we will be pumping these out more if we can, as soon as we can. Always remember, as I fucked up and didn't say in the beginning, but I will say it now. If you made it to this, thank you for making it to the end. But make sure you like and subscribe on the YouTube page. Hit the bell. Hit all notifications. That way you can be notified every time one of these videos comes up. Also, make sure you check out the Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Cantina Corner. You'll find it all on there. And we will see you next episode.
Peace.